Pirating is easy money, but when people's front porches become a battleground, the law of the jungle comes into play. Fed up with being the victim, these homeowners have found some pretty unique ways of teaching these opportunistic robbers some lessons. Number 1, don't mess with a Marine. The treatment this porch pirating piece of crap got made the day for a lot of people. It's not every day these pirates get a heavy dose of karma right during the act. Not in a million years could this thief have imagined that the box of goodies he was holding was going to turn into 4th of July fireworks. While the average Joe might be a sitting duck for such people, the Marine who had been robbed too many times by this thief wasn't willing to take it anymore. A hardened veteran who'd met his own share of troublemakers had learned from experience that teaching such no-good hooligans an immediate lesson always shows the best results. And this hooligan is also an asswipe, as he literally swiped his ass to confirm that he had crapped his pants. Sheesh. Had enough? You wouldn't want to miss this next one for the world. Number 2. Flush the pirate. Necessity is the mother of invention. This is dog poop flying out of an innocent-looking package, and this is the vile thief it was designed for. An anti-porch pirate vigilante devised the ultimate solution to the neighborhood porch pest problem. Concerned by the saddening loss of a beloved package by his dear friend, who was targeted on a bright sunny day by a dastardly thief, the concerned citizen was adamant that such a tragic fate would not befall another upstanding citizen. His invention? A dog poop rocket launcher meant to soil the clothing of a porch pirate to match his dirty soul. This was the helpful dog who made the donation to help this poor yet bad guy get his just desserts. This dog poop cannon is a contraption sophisticated enough to impress the best of ammunition inventors. To add insult to injury, its inventor shared its entire manual on social media to help ordinary Americans shore up their defenses against such thieves. Number 3, you're on candid camera. Porch pirates are peculiar beasts as they stand apart from their distant cousins, the ordinary thieves. While an ordinary thief has the good sense to hide his face and identity so he doesn't get caught, porch piracy as a career takes much bigger nuts and a come-get-me attitude. Check out this guy, for example. He sneaked around under the bright shining sun to steal other people's packages, but didn't bother to even wear a face mask to hide his face. Either he's got the cops on his payroll like Al Capone, or he's got a special invisibility cloak he forgot to turn on. Either way, this crook's goose was cooked as he was identified by the cops and arrested for his brazen theft. In this case, the homeowner was too busy to guard his house as he was getting cleaned out of his fresh buys, but his camera was wide awake and watching. Number 4. One loose end. This guy had more street smarts than his previous counterpart, as he had the sense to keep his face hidden behind an excuse for a face mask. That teeny tiny thing obscuring the lower half of his jawline was not about to keep him hidden from the cops. As this snake slithered around, confidently loading up someone else's belongings into his blood-red car, he was kept company by his getaway buddy. Great escape plan, as this Einstein had covered all the bases with his trusty face mask, but the front camera recording the plates on his car got him caught in no time at all. And once the cops took a look at his shining bald head, the gig was definitely up, since who couldn't recognize that head? Number 5, pirating epidemic. While that guy at least tried to make an effort to not get caught, this one shows a much tougher hide. Not afraid of getting noticed in broad daylight, this guy casually walked up to this house, all set on getting rich off of the small items he found there. But what he didn't know was that the owner was not only at home, but he wasn't afraid of a confrontation either. Like a true champ, he took on the thief, walking away with his easy loot. The homeowner shouted at the thief, demanding he put his items down. Without breaking a sweat, the thief showed no courtesy as he threw the items casually onto the ground and drove away like it was business as usual. Number 6. Armed to the teeth. This daytime thief thought he was going home rich as he openly committed a crime against a guy he thought was like the rest. Gleefully counting his latest loot and dreaming of all the goodies he was getting his hands on, this guy didn't realize he had walked onto the porch of the Angel of Demise. As soon as he saw the shiny, hard bat held aloft by this homeowner, who not only happened to be home but was royally pissed, he knew his time was up. It was time to say his Hail Marys and prepare to meet his maker. Judging by the big angry guy swinging that bat and shutting his gate like he meant business, he was prepared to battle to the demise to protect his home and property. This limp bizkit chose the wrong guy to mess with. Number 7. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Porch pirates come in all shapes, sizes, and professions. Check out this guy caught red-handed in Portland, Oregon on the 27th of January 2021. It started out pretty innocently with him loitering around somebody else's property. He scoped out the residence and its front porch properly, trying to figure out how many guard dogs, human and canine, were on duty to douse his dastardly plan with a cold dose of reality. He seemed cautiously happy when he got the idea that the house might be empty, and opportunity was a damsel that Tomcat couldn't resist. Power walking back to his target, he wasted no time and started collecting the treasure in sight, only to get a rude awakening. Now, any thief getting called out on his thieving behavior would just run off with dignity, but this guy was made of sterner stuff. He acted all casual and assured the alarmed owners addressing him on the doorbell cam that he was an upstanding American citizen employed by UPS to do security checks. The cheek of the guy. Number 8. Canine culprit. Porch pirating is such a lucrative pastime that it's gone viral and everyone wants to give it a try. After Homo sapiens, cute canines are getting in on the action and getting their hands and sniffing noses up other people's business. Check out this cutie canine out to get himself some goodies, and like a cute little thief, he ran off with some good merchandise. Now, in all fairness, doorbell cams might be hated by the porch pirating community, but in this case, some poor guy got saved from getting accused of something he didn't do. Fortunately, this time he could say in all honesty in court that the dog did it. Number 9. Karma bites. The sound of this truck going around the neighborhood must be music to the ears of countless individuals waiting impatiently to make their pirating run. For this lady, Christmas had rolled around early this year, and she was all set for a pretty great day. As she eagerly screeched her car to a halt, nothing could hold her back from sprinting across the lawn to get to the goodies waiting on that porch. But karma can be such a party pooper, and it had big plans for the poor woman. In her eagerness to get away with her catch, this lady forgot she was no longer in her prime and paid for it with a hard landing. Hard landings can be pretty hard once you cross middle age, and this lady happened to be in that age group. She wasn't doing any more porch hopping on that day. This gal got caught out by karma. Number 10. Dumped. They say there's no honor among thieves, and this video proves it beyond the shadow of a doubt. This girl was probably out having a great time with her buddy, robbing porches right and left, when she got doused with an ice-cold dose of reality. All she had to do was grab the package from in front of a house and sprint for her car as she was being chased by a crazed lunatic who wanted her stuff back. But the ultimate insult was her getaway BFF leaving her on the roadside in a screaming heap. The screeching coming from the two protagonists should have brought the entire neighborhood out into the street by now, but even the dog and cat, crossing over to see the cause of the ruckus, seem unfazed. This girl got to eat an entire humble pie at the hands of the owner of those coveted packages, who was going to teach her the lesson of a lifetime in one day. Goes to show you how fickle friendships based on crime are and how momentary such joy can be. Number 11. Cops and robbers. Cops take an oath to protect the citizens, but sometimes their wives don't live by it. This lady shamed her husband, Haines City Police Sergeant Kevin Hager, when she started stealing packages from her neighbor's porch. They say you shouldn't poop where you eat. Same goes for going porch pirating from the neighborhood you live in. Dana Hager, from Lakeland, Florida, had no qualms about mixing business with pleasure when she decided to rob her friend, another police officer's wife, of her packages. It was a bizarre sight, one the community is not likely to forget, as one cop's wife got arrested for stealing from another cop's wife. But she paid dearly for it by getting exposed so spectacularly. Number 12. Copycat. FedEx trucks are like honey to bees, the porch pirates following in their tracks being the stingy, nasty bees. This FedEx truck was making the rounds, doing its business. But as soon as it rolled around the corner, the vultures descended, smelling fresh meat. This SUV drove up calmly to the spot left by the truck and launched its stealthy swiper to do all the swiping. It was smooth going until one gentleman poked his nose in their business. Getting told off by Grandpa brings back bad memories, and this thief was no different. Spooked at getting caught red-handed, the thief slinked off with his companion in the same direction as the FedEx truck, bringing this episode to a satisfying close. Number 13. Not ashamed. This shameless thief will make your blood boil. The guy targeted a home in Maple Shade, New Jersey, confident that the house was empty and its occupants were at their jobs, and he was right. At least he had the good sense to try to cover his face. Good for him, not so good for the people he was robbing. As he went in for the home run and started piling the packages into his handy-dandy bag, he was confronted by the owner through the doorbell cam. Fat load of good that did her, as she watched helplessly yet angrily as she was robbed. Helpless and angry she was, but deterred she wasn't.
Yeah, bring the package to you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Can you put it right there, please? You need to put it...
No, she's told me right here. She's talking to me. She's talking to me. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You need to put it back.
No, it's right there, man.
Even though the porch thief wasn't listening to her calls to cease and desist, she kept ordering him to put her stuff back. She didn't get her way, but she gets full marks for trying. Of course, she let karma take care of the rest. Number 14. A confrontation. This incident is the gold standard of porch pirates getting caught out, since the victim not only caught up with the thief and confronted him about it, but also got his stuff back. The whole thing started with one guy scoping out a house carefully before moving in for the job. After making a couple of rounds of the street and scanning the house for any activity, the thief snuck in and ran off with a few packages. The poor guy didn't know that the owner had installed a doorbell cam just a few days ago. The owner not only hunted him down, but confronted him about stealing from his porch. Of course, like any good thief, this guy was hell-bent on proving he was pure as the driven snow, even though he was completely guilty. It's a universal fact that the human tongue can lie, but the camera doesn't. At last, realizing that there was no getting away with what he had done, he put the blame on a non-existent cousin. Although it wasn't a complete win, since he had already disposed of some of the items, the owner was able to recover some of the packages the thief had stolen. Even though he was assisted by technology, this guy gets full marks for keeping his cool and still treating a thief with respect which wasn't shown to him. Number 15. Just desserts. This lady thought she got away scot-free after helping herself to valuable items lying on the porch of an unsuspecting victim. As she drove away confident that there was no one coming to get her, she had no idea that fate was following her. The resourceful victim was able to track her down to a local store where she could be seen taking her sweet time and shopping her little heart out without a clue that she was going to jail. The glee on the face of this victim is proof that he was no victim, but he was willing to go the extra mile to get what he wanted, which was justice. Some people don't learn until they pay the price for their actions and decisions, and judging by the stuff found in this woman's car, stealing packages from other people's porches was the least of her crimes. This here was a smooth criminal who was in possession of other people's social security numbers. This lady was finally getting what she deserved. Unfortunately for her, the just desserts she got served were not to her liking. Number 16, delivery thief. Some betrayals are so vile that they cannot be forgotten or forgiven. Take a look at this delivery driver who chose the worst possible way of turning traitor to his profession. He abandoned his own side of the battle and crossed over to the other side of the divide by joining the Porch pirates. While people put their trust and their packages in his capable hands, they didn't know how badly he would trample their innocent hope. He openly stole the packages he was supposed to deliver. What's worse, he did it all in front of the doorbell camera. That was the worst of his crime, being too stupid to get caught. Number 17, neighborhood watch. This dude definitely got the short end of the stick when he decided to swipe some packages from the front porch of this house. Easy peasy, no big deal, since there was no one around to watch him do the deed. At least that's what he thought, and he was soon proven wrong. As he trundled away happily in one direction, he was followed by the neighbor's kids who had already caught on to his funny business. Of course, he denied and denied, but no one was willing to listen to him, since he had loads of proof stacked against him. It's clear that this was not his day, as the cops were called in, and he was read his rights. Number 18, home heist. This delivery guy is one OKD Manley who was working for UPS, pretty innocent on the face of it at least. As he delivered some packages to a homeowner one day, the owner noticed another car pulling up to his driveway within 8 minutes of him leaving. Out stepped Tanginica Wright, who wasted no time in walking up to the victim's driveway and stealing the packages lying there. Smelling something stinky, the owner called the cops, who decided to investigate the matter. They found text messages from the UPS driver to the Porch pirates signaling that the packages had been dropped. This gang was busted by the police and the suspects were taken into custody. Pretty impressive considering the simple yet opportunistic nature of Porch pirating activities. Number 19, on the other foot. These porchies bit off more than they could chew, not dreaming of a day one of them would be staring down the barrel of a piece.
Put my shit back on the...
To them, it was a day like any other, but for the owner of the package, this guy was stealing. It was D-Day. Not willing to become a silent victim to a couple of easy thieves, he confronted them with the most decisive thing in any war, an arm piece. There was only one place that no good thief was going, which was home with his tail between his legs. Number 20, street justice. This is by far the most satisfying video of the entire bunch, with a Porch pirate getting served up a serving of bitter street justice. This dude confronting another Weasley pirate about stealing his stuff was getting the same answer each one of them gives. It wasn't me. Fed up with being taken for a ride, this guy let all of his frustration loose on the thief, teaching him a lesson his father should have taught him. Street justice goes a long way in providing swift and immediate justice. With that, we come to the end of an extremely satisfying ride, one which ends with eggs on the faces of porch pirates. Which tactic of dealing with these nuisances do you consider the best? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe.